Hi, welcome back to Andertons TV. I'm Rob, and I'm here with David from Roland.
Hello.
What are we doing today?
Today we're looking at the TR-8S. So this is our successor of the TR-8, of course, and the really popular drum machine. And now we have everything you had in the TR-8, of course, which is that ACB modeling technology we have of our vintage drum machines. But also, of course, now we have sample import and a whole lot of more stuff on board. Yeah.
So should we just go through what the difference is between this and TR-8? Obviously, you can import samples onto this.
Yeah.
Can you process the samples within it, or is it just
like actually there are plenty of sound design options.
Okay,
so you have an amp envelope, you have filter envelope, and even an insert effect on each track. So you can put like a bit crusher on the kick and a compressor on the snare and so on. So there's tons of sound design options in there as well.
Okay, so if I've just got this out of the box fresh, and I want to start making something straight away, how would I do that?
Well, it's similarly to the TR-8. You just hit the TR-8 button here, and you go into the step sequencer, and we'll just press play. And now it's rolling. We'll just put in a few kicks there. And snare. So I've loaded, obviously, a little kind of DMB kit there.
Cool.
We can also, of course, play it live. We actually have a little velocity sensitive pad right there, so we can just play that live and record that way as well. So I'll just do that. And now you can see the ride here, but actually it's only playing 10 steps. That's because I've set the last step of the ride to be 10 steps. So this means I can set actually each individual track to its own length. So we can have one track that's 16 as normal, and then one track that's like 5 steps, and one that's 7.
Oh, cool.
So you get all these kind of interesting polyrhythmic stuff happening. So let's try maybe adding a little a bit of bass there. So I have a bass sample there. I'm gonna put a couple of more steps, and now we can also adjust the pitch of each step. So I'll just pitch this bass up a little bit, and then maybe go up a whole octave there, and down back to normal. So now it's gonna sound
cool.
So now we have a bass line.
basically.
Yeah, and we can even do the same thing with the filter, for instance. So I've assigned a cutoff filter. So I can actually do the same thing with a filter, or I can record it live. So I'll just hold the motion record here.
That's so cool.
So now I have.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And then.
Is that across everything?
Huh?
Is that every control you can do that with?
Yeah, every single control you can do that with. And actually this control knob is assignable, so you can assign it to do anything you want out of all the effect parameters and the sound design parameters. So you can set this control knob for each channel to literally anything.
Wow.
So it's really easy. I mean, you can essentially do, this is meant to be primarily a drum machine, right?
Okay.
But you can actually, you can take this and do a full gig with just this alone. So it's quite powerful. You can put some chords on there and maybe add some vocals. And what we can also do is actually record the part or any part that it's not currently playing.
Right.
So what I can do here is I can hold the TR-8 button and just press B. And now you can hear A is still playing, right? But I can actually
make a variation of it.
Yeah, so I'll just put like a random, like very intense fill
really
right
heavy.
there. So and then just go back to A when I'm done. What I can also do is actually assign this B part, for instance, to be my fill with the filling button here.
Okay.
So I'll just hold the fill assignment, press B, and now that is officially my fill. So whenever I press the fill trigger button, it's going to play that part. Yeah.
Oh.
But the cool thing is it's actually momentary if you want. So I can just play it for like a millisecond.
Just to break it up.
Cool. So what happens now, I play back A again, and then I can... And
that's so cool.
So
that's my favorite thing right now. Yeah. I would buy it just for that.
Yeah. So it's quite powerful, and like I said, you have an individual effects unit for each track, and also there's master effects on board as well. So if you just turn that on, we have a switch here.
Oh, right, it's like bit crusher and stuff.
Yeah. There's all kinds of master effects there.
How do you change the master effects?
Just by going to the Master Effects edit, so I'll just hold Shift there, and now we can see Crusher.
Oh, cool.
And we can change to any type we have here. We have phaser, flanger, sideband filter, noise, all kinds of things. And then you can also assign this master phase controller to be any of these parameters that you want as well.
Wow, so it's really flexible.
Yeah, absolutely. There's plenty of storage memory as well. I mean, you have up to 128 drum kits. You have 16 banks of patterns, and each bank contains 16 patterns.
Is there going to be any sort of like third-party companies doing samples for this? If I wanted to take samples of my own and bring them in, how does that work?
Well, it's just you can just do basic sample import by just taking the SD card here.
Oh, it's got SD on it?
Yeah, and it's just got a sample folder, and you can put any sample you want
and then
there.
you just basically assign it through this. So if you've got the samples on the SD card, you just put it in there, and then you just...
and just import them. And it essentially takes nearly every sample rate. So 44.1, 48, 96, even 192 kilohertz.
Wow.
So basically any samples possible there. And you can make your kits, and you can, like I said, you can do a lot of detailed settings when it comes to, like, of course you have your sample start and end point, but then there's all these envelopes and bit rate reduction and all kinds of things for sound design. So 16 banks of patterns, 16 patterns in each, and also 8 patterns in each pattern.
Right, so there's quite a lot going on there, yeah. So obviously you've got the SCO2 here. How does that work? Yeah, so
what I've done here is, actually that brings us to the connectivity, because there's plenty of outputs here. So you have, of course, your stereo master output, but then you have 6 additional audio outputs as well, and these can be assigned to whatever you want. So you can send a kick out separately, or hi-hats or whatever, but you can also send several sounds to one output. Or you can actually use them as trigger outputs.
Right.
And there's a dedicated trigger output here as well, which I've now connected to the SCO2 here. So what we can do now is, I'm just going to turn these down, and we'll go to the trigger track, and we can send a trigger to play this sequencer of the SCO2 step by step. So if I hit play now it plays one step, another step, and we can just put some more in.
Is that just randomly playing them, is it?
Yeah, so this sequencer is set to play randomly. So it's not going just forwards, but actually it's just jumping around randomly, and the rhythm is now coming from here. So we can easily be in control of the rhythm from here. And then we could just add the other stuff on top. Yeah, so I mean, even just these two, that's like a great live setup.
Yeah, right.
And you know, so you show up to a gig, you have only these two and one master output, because this is actually going into the external stereo input here, that you can also put sidechain compression on. So I've set this now to be triggered by the kick. So every time the kick plays, the compressor is going to duck a little bit. So I mean,
there's a lot going on in a small little box.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you had a chance to take this out live yourself? Or have you just been using it
well, I've been doing videos like this so far, but I will definitely do that soon. So I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah, and we have a bunch of quite famous artists that are already going crazy with this. Huh?
Can you say who they are?
No.
So
I could be lying. I'm just saying.
You're just egging it out.
You know, I guess we'll find out.
With this, in terms of working with DAWs at Ableton, how does that work? Is it the same as the TR-8 did? Or is it
so this has a built-in audio interface.
Brilliant.
And every channel has a separate output, so you can record, again, all your sounds on separate channels in one go. But also the outputs here, if you use it as an audio interface, you can actually send DAW tracks through the separate outputs.
Right.
So you can send vocals from Ableton.
Yeah. So you can have a huge project with Ableton as well.
Yeah. So really nice audio interface in there, and of course there's the USB also works with IRA-Link. So this is our interface.
So if you've got other IRA stuff, it all play nice together.
Yeah, if you got the MX1 mixer, so then you can just hook this up via USB and get it synchronized, and you get the audio and everything just via the USB cable. So
really convenient.
Yeah. So plenty of connectivity there basically. And again, we also have that full ACB technology, like on similarly to the TR-8 or the boutique drum machines.
Right. Okay.
So we have emulation of the famous 808, 909, 707, and 606 and 727. So we got essentially the only machine that combines ACB technology with also user samples. So it's
quite unique then in some
sense.
Yeah, cool.
Definitely.
Right.
One more thing which I think is pretty cute, should I put it?
Cute.
Which is well, it's nice. The faders here, you can actually color them. So you can see here we have different colors, and you can customize that yourself, and also do that separately for each kit.
Right.
So this is really handy. Like what I like to do, for instance, is just go all red if they're just normal drum sounds, what they say, you know, kick, snare, and so on. But like, let's say I have a vocal sample and I want to keep track of that, I'll just assign that to be a little bit brighter,
so
like
just
blue.
by like...
Yeah.
Ah.
So this is, you're now in color assignment mode, so you can just like literally do this and just color your kit like that. It's really fast.
It's a fine detail, but it's quite cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
but it's really convenient
for
live use, so you can easily keep track of all your sounds and what they're doing and so on. So,
cool.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming in. It was really good to go through this. I've
My
seen
pleasure.
it in the shop briefly, but I haven't had a chance to actually go through it. So if you guys liked it, obviously like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Hey guys, thanks for watching the Andertons YouTube Music Technology channel. If you're a guitar player or you play bass or a drummer or you're into keyboards, you might like one of our other YouTube channels, and I'll put links to those in the description below. Anyway, if you'd like to find out more about the products we featured in this video, please click up here. If you'd like to watch another video from this channel, please click here. If you'd like to buy a t-shirt like the one I'm wearing, click down here. And lastly, if you'd like to subscribe to our Music Tech YouTube channel, please click down here. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.